I'd like to tell you about the Finnish school system and compare it to the Canadian one. So first of all, school starts the same year as you're going to turn 7 years old. And you have your shoes off generally everywhere in the school, and you have all kinds of subjects which you wouldn't learn in Canada. For example, you have religion, drama, and 2 foreign languages starting from grade 1. And you have school days are 3 to 6 hours long, with the average rising when your age gets higher. Afternoons of short days are filled with after-school activities such as clubs or sports or just going home, and you're allowed to be home alone as long as you're over 6 years old. Since 1948, there has been given free hot lunch in Finland, and it's real healthy food. The teacher sits with the class and teaches the class manners such as eating with your mouth closed and using your knife and fork. Here's an example of an average week, what the food might be. And children eat calmly, and those that do so are told to slow down. That do not do so are told to slow down. And so people are not usually hungry in the afternoon, except if you don't like the food and you don't eat it at all. Which is actually a problem, since people don't always like the food. And so, school buildings are a very important part of the city's environment, and because of that, they're also made to look really nice. So that's my old school, but it is quite an old school. And a lot of resources are invested into the school's design and practicality, as well as what they look like. And they are always designed by architects, and here's my home city's newest school. And it has a very nice waving copper roof, and it has been reported that some teens have been actually stealing the copper from the roof. So school materials are free and are supplied by the school. We also get all kinds of nice workbooks that we get to fill in, like this. And we have no loose papers, and everything in these workbooks that we have. And because the parents can read those workbooks, they know what's going on at the school, instead of having endless loose papers, which we don't have, as even the announcements are on the internet. So they are very friendly and informal student-teacher relationships in almost all the schools. And they're very friendly and informal, as said earlier, and the teachers are always addressed by their first names. The teacher gets to know the kids very well, and the same teacher stays with the class for all elementary school grades, which are grades 1 to 6. And in Finland, we have the thing that we call students' choose. It's in almost all the schools, but not all. And it means that students have a major role deciding what's going to happen in the school, like maybe making the playground different, or just, well, buying new toys. And they are selected by a student government with representative elections from each class. In grade 2, I was actually the chairman of the parliament for the autumn semester. So, tests are held very rarely and are not serious, and the elementary school's focus is on learning how to learn. Everything is taught very slowly and thoroughly to ensure full understanding, which also means that nothing is done fast or quick. And there are no serious competitions nor strategies. That means that we're taught 1, 2, or on some occasions 3 ways to do something, but those few ways that are taught very well. And topics are taught slowly and carefully, but only once. That means that there is no repeating subjects, nor spiral, where the same topic is revisited over a course of multiple years. And then further teaching then builds on the basics of the core subjects learned earlier. And something really interesting is that there is much less focus on presentation skills, and the primary focus is on learning the basics. That may be the reason why Finns are not very famous for their presentation skills. And we have generally less homework, and parents know both their old child, their child's friend, and the parent due to all kinds of parties where generally the whole class and their family is invited. We have all kinds of summer parties and winter parties and Christmas parties and all kinds of parties where the whole family comes and all have fun together. So, but what does all this mean? Well, it means that school in Finland is mostly lots of fun and a lot of learning. And we're taught to apply our learning to real-life situations and taught to be very creative. But maintaining that level of creativity while also following strict guidelines often proves a challenge to both the teacher and the students. And a much thorougher approach is given to these subjects, as said earlier, as they really want us to know the basics before we can do more advanced things. But overall, less information is learned in Finnish elementary school than in the Canadian, but those few things that are learned are taught very well. And it's really just not my experience, but the system really works. That means that in 2003 to 2006, Finland got first place in all the PISA studies focus areas. When you go into more details of the 2006, you can see that Finland got first place in science, which was the most important subject of the year, which is why it's told to be number 1 on the 2003-2006, and second in math and reading. And in 2009, Finland got first and second place out of all the OECD countries. In conclusion, I have to say that perhaps the best possible option is for someone to go to school and experience school in multiple different countries and systems, which allows for this kind of reflection and comparison. That is unfortunately not possible for everyone, but as I have been lucky enough to have the experience, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to share my thoughts here with you. Thank you.